Hello, caviar connoisseurs, and welcome to week 40 of Sports
Yeah.
Caviar, the big 4-0. Just like my age, we age like fine wine, Sports Caviar. We're going to be talking a lot about the Olympics here because it's opening ceremonies and everything is going on in Paris right now. And then we have the MLB trade deadline is coming up next week. So we're going to preview that, and we'll do some picks on the National League because we left them out last week. We got some baseball talk, we got some Olympic talk, and we also need to find out what happened last weekend with our very own Bernassi's 43rd birthday. He had a big bash, and he was just out on the ocean for 3 days, it looked like. You're alive, so that's a good start.
Yeah, some things are what happens in Tampa stays in Tampa on something. It was actually one of our smaller groups this year. We only had 8 or 9 guys. But down there in Tampa, and a buddy of ours lives on the water with the boats. We went out quite a bit on the boat. Went to some bars that just pull up with blasting music and 8 crazy 40-plus-year-olds living like they're in their 20s. But it was a great time. Lots of good laughs, lots of storytelling. Definitely some dive bars. I hit up some sand bars, which I'm not a big, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not a big ocean guy where I want to sit in water where I can't see underneath me or exit quickly. And we went to this one sandbar where it's just in the middle of the water and it just happens to be 2 or 3 feet deep, but craziness. Lots of younger crowd, lots of dancing on boats but now speaking of the amazing adult beverages of my hazy IPAs, I brought some and was sitting in the pool drinking out of the can. Didn't want to put the glass in the water.
Safety first, probably a good.
No, Bajan, you'd think so. When I happened to be drinking out of this thing, I just was thinking like piece of dirt or something in there, and I happened to take a nice good sip, and wouldn't you know, a damn cockroach is when I say full grown, size cockroach is now feeling like on my tongue, and I'm spit it out. It's dead, but absolutely. I will never drink out of a can ever again in my life. But yeah,
Can burn?
it was in the can. Like it must have been canned, just happened to be in and then they filled it up and didn't even know.
Anything lived in there? Must have been drunk. Wow.
And how long? I think it was canned I think 4 or 5 weeks prior. So it's been in there, just fermenting flavor.
Oh,
No way.
Unfortunately, I can't make this up. It was a hazy IPA from Magnanimous, but I bought it from a local, just like a gas station that's really known for the craft beers. You
Can
actually
you
know
sue
it.
for that?
I don't think so. I don't know. How do you prove it? I'm sure I could write a letter with a picture of it.
The
but-
Magnanimous no longer a sponsor. We apologize, I think.
Yeah, hey, look, they got good beers. Unfortunately, it was just a bad canning.
Did you get a picture?
Yeah, my buddies have it. I don't think I have it on my phone, but I'll send it to you guys.
Track it down. Interns are on it. Interns are going to stomp that up.
Shout out to all the guys that made it. Appreciate it. Obviously, it fell on my birthday as well, so even better. Good times. You guys will get to experience.
You did well with your sun care burn. What SPF are you using? What SPF?
I went with 30. I went with 30.
Solid.
Because I had to get a little color. Because
You're using an 8 or a 50. You got to go in between. Yeah.
I'm still light skinned when it comes to that. I was told that to get a little tan because it makes the fat look skinny.
You put a nice blog about you. You did well with your sun care burn.
I felt pretty good about it, to be honest. I appreciate that, guys.
The swimsuit, I've got to know. Is it, you got mesh in there? No mesh? Is it an line? Because you're in that thing for a long time. Yeah.
I'm typically a mesh guy, unless you go board short style. But you get a mesh nowadays.
Gurn is a board shorts guy, a 1998 Hurley board short guy.
It's a funny I'm wearing that. You mentioned that. They're like, I feel like the times have changed, and I was gonna bring a pair of the board shorts that I have from the past that fit, and I'm like, they're like past and they look like capris on me.
Yeah.
I'm like, how long I wore these things? Like, it was literally like 3 inches past my knee. I'm like, what the hell? So
Wow.
I'm gonna have to get some new board shorts, upgrade that, and find the ones that are maybe in that 7-inch inseam style these days.
You got to go 5-inch. 5-inch.
5-inch. I feel like it might be a little too short, too close.
Get a little revealing.
That they would
Sit
I feel like if you're sitting down, there is some possibilities. As we get older, things change.
Gravity
Well,
works. Gravity works.
No, you're gonna wear something under to make sure that nothing gets revealed.
I don't want. No, I'm not wearing.
You don't wear. So you wear underwear underneath your swimsuit?
No, like the new ones, they have these like liners that go like
Okay,
a
so your
gym
board
shorts.
short
You
with
know how they
line.
have the yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
like a
even
bird dog. That's what I'm using. Not a
So-
mesh. It's a
Yeah.
nice liner.
And
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
a
shout out to-
liner,
Yeah, shout
very
out to Chubbies. They have
comfortable.
some nice ones. So that's what I'm pulling out.
Oh, nice.
You look
We gotta
great,
get
Bern. Let me
some
ask
photos.
Bern. Was the beverage? Was it Glow? Is that what you were drinking? The hazy IPA was reading through
I'm
my
gonna-
Venom Cruise. Did anything about cockroaches than any of them?
Yeah, no, they don't. It was maybe it was a special release.
I bet it
limited
was a
edition.
special release. It was a special.
I mean, I'm telling you, my buddies were sitting in the pool next to me, and I just spit it out, and they're like, "What the hell just happened?" I'm like, "There's a cockroach floating in the water," and it was just. I was close. I was like, I feel like I need to hurl, but I'm like, I can't believe that was in my mouth right there.
You didn't chew it or swallow it, thankfully.
No, I can tell you. I initially there was a couple times, like first couple sips, and I like it was like the like part of the leg, and that's why I was like thinking like, yeah, like dirt, hair, I don't know, something. Didn't even think to check any farther, but then I had a few more sips, and then the boy just floated from the bottom, and yeah,
Was
right
it
in there.
wiggling around in there?
No, it was dead. It was definitely dead. Thank God. If it was, yeah, I don't know what's better, but I feel like it not moving out of my mouth was a good thing.
Yeah.
An eventful, but no injuries other than a little crazy on that part. But we survived, and I'm here to tell about it. But
Now the thing
we got
is that
we got that fight
if
too.
you
As
would,
well, the
no,
what's his name fight? You watch that because it was in Tampa that weekend.
oh,
Jake Paul, Mike Perry.
Jesus. What would have happened if you would have swallowed the cockroach?
I would imagine that I would have hurled at some point. I would have forced myself probably. I don't.
Well, you
I
wouldn't have
assume
known
it's
that it was
okay.
in there.
That thing, it was not a baby. Like it was a full adult. It was not a little tiny guy. I feel like that. I felt it hit my tongue, and I was like, nope.
Oh,
Yeah,
full body.
no. Knew something wasn't.
Crazy story, man. Oh God, that's disgusting.
Yeah. So for all of our connoisseurs out there, if you don't drink out of the can, go ahead and pour that into a nice clear glass and do a quick examination, and all will be well.
It's just the odds are just insanely low for something like that to happen anyway. By the way.
And my buddies said the same thing, but they said the odds are typically higher when it comes to the burn nasty. They said if that was going to happen to anybody, it was going to be me. And damn well if it didn't. So good times.
I'm gonna let you guys pick. Do you guys want to do baseball trade deadline, or you want to start with Olympics? Let's do a live pre-show screening on air. What do you guys want to do?
Well, the Olympics, you guys are already in Paris. Clearly, I got left behind. I know the budget's tight. That's fine.
Yeah, we can only
Inflation.
afford the 2 seed.
How much do you guys think it costs to go? If we wanted to go to the Olympics for a week, how much do you think I would need to save for that? $5,000? $8,000?
Are you-
Grand, at least.
Yeah, I was going to say
10
you're probably
grand?
got it.
At least.
Depending on what, I don't know. I don't know
If
the
you're in a hostel, you could do that.
the hotels itself are going to cost you a fortune because they're all, I'm sure, inflated. Then you throw in tickets to every event. I don't know how it all works. If you have to buy, you can buy some master pass, but if you're doing per event, I can't imagine it being cheap. So get that.
I don't. If it costs that much money, I don't know if I'll ever go.
You will. You still got, isn't it? It'll be here soon, right?
We have the World Cup coming over here.
We have the Winter Olympics in 2034 in Utah, was just announced.
Oh, okay.
10 years
Man,
to
I
go out
don't
there.
know.
By then, we'll actually have sponsors that will send us out there, so that'll be good.
But what the heck are we gonna do? Are we just gonna watch skiing? I don't even watch the Winter Olympics.
We're gonna go. No, we're gonna watch curling.
Yeah, curling's worth that.
Yeah, that's.
How about that? The Open Championship at that place on the island right across from Scotland where they make the official curling stones. Did you see that? They got a big grant.
Actually,
Yeah. It's what an export. That is, talk about cornering the market on curling. We've got to figure it out.
What?
find their niche.
Speaking of the Open, the Jean cleaned up very nicely. I must
Did you
say.
guys watch the rest of the week? You guys checked
No.
out Friday.
Why would I have watched food?
I only watched because I love Scheffler, so I was hoping that he was going to be able to pull it off, which he was in contention. But Morikawa he was hanging in there, but he was never. It was Xander, Scottie, Lowry had a nice little run there, but then he started falling off.
Justin Rose,
Brian Rose,
a wonderful round. Really 4 nice rounds and a great closing round on Sunday. 4 under for Rosie on Sunday.
Yeah, Rose was good. What was the final pairing on Sunday?
It was Rosie and that other guy.
It wasn't. It was Horschel.
No, it was Horschel and the other guy.
Oh, Horschel
and other guy.
Yeah. But
Brown.
I mean,
What can Brown
Brown.
do for you? I believe Brown did.
Brown.
You gambled on him. Brown did nothing
Yeah.
for you.
every one of my guys did nothing for me. Rory checked out after a triple bogey.
You two can, I don't know. It was the Stableford method. You both were well over 30. It was really a fantastic, impressive performance by both.
I imagine that I got last place. It's
Wow.
hard
Yeah,
to
I think
not
Byrne was in the mid 30s. And normally,
Guys, I had done so well all year. It was bound. I had to give somebody else an opportunity. I took some chances. I didn't go chalk. Let's take the number one golfer in the world.
Went with the second rated
yeah,
player.
it's not like Rory is not really going out of the limb, Bird.
I'd like to think it without quick help and look at me.
No, I do because of Rory's. You know how I feel about Rory.
Yeah,
But
obviously.
Rory's performance is where I feel Rory should be.
Yeah.
Where he's plus 20 back
More
down.
guy.
Shot though. But just what an impressive.
Yeah.
The first golferson, your boy, both of your boy, Brooks Koepka, in 2018 to win 2 majors in the same year. Right? I think as impressive as his 6 under round on Sunday was, more impressive was his Saturday round where he shot 2 under 69 in some horrendous conditions.
Yeah.
The camera, you can see what's happening. Somebody need to wipe that. Wiper.
They said that back 9 on Saturday was probably the hardest 9 holes they've ever played in golf.
You're hitting driver into a par 3.
I said that they were like, I think it was Rose. It was like, I think he was going through what he hit for each, like even on the approach shots.
Yeah.
And the only one hole was like a 7 or 8 iron. Everything else was like 4 or 5, a 3-wood.
Incredible. Really tough. So his shot play is, to your point, Byrne, for him to shoot a 69 on that day and survive, not only survive, but actually make up some ground and then finish with some clutch. His short game was phenomenal when the putter is rolling. He's strong. Actually, speaking of Olympics and international competition, first time in nearly 40 years, actually in 40 years, that Americans have won all 4 majors in the same year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clean sweep.
Yeah. 1982. Craig Stadler, the Walrus, old Walrus, Tom Watson won 2 of them. And our boy Raymond Floyd had the other one.
Isn't it crazy though? Because you would think that year that Tiger, he had 3 of them.
Yeah.
Like we couldn't have just had any other American win. Raymond Duvall. Yeah.
It'd be Phil
Phil.
Mickelson probably, but
Yeah, it's an awesome stat.
let's talk about Tiger because
It's tough.
I gotta admit, I've been down on him all year. That I took a shot on him here to make the cut, and God,
I
I'm
also
just
did that.
awful.
Hard to
Wasn't
watch.
good.
What are you doing?
Yeah. I still owe John $25 for that dumbass bet.
Did you text? Is Tiger going to Venmo that to me? I know you guys and him are tight.
Yeah,
that's
Tiger-
fine. Whoever
Tiger said he
texted
was-
him, it's fine.
Tiger was very embarrassed and he apologized.
I don't know if he has it.
That he said he would cover it. He said, well, he's kind of tied up right now. Cash flow is limited because he hasn't made any money.
$25 is like a
He hasn't made a golf tournament in quite a while. And he had to, fly out to see it and also, shoot 22 over through 2 rounds in the junior tournament or whatever they
Not
were
for the
in.
Woods family right now.
It was not a good weekend for the Woods family, or a week.
Did you guys see the photo of his leg?
Yeah. It's just impressive he's able to walk around a golf course.
Yeah.
What that kind of showed was obviously he's dealing with a massive leg injury, but we know he has bad hips and a bad back,
Bad
and a
back,
bad knee.
His
It's like
back is fused. He's more bionic than I am, and I can barely get
I
out of
think
bed.
he's I would say I think that he needs to retire the way it looks. Like, I don't want to remember Tiger Woods like this is the problem. Like, it's like any player that holds on too long and you start to remember them.
You're not.
We're always
You're
gonna
saying you
remember
don't
he's
want.
the GOAT.
Yeah, but he's still gonna be the GOAT. Like I'll remember
Yeah.
those days because I was there. But you're not gonna let him go out on his own terms, and he's earned the right to play in those tournaments. Just like Colin Montgomery said he needs to retire, and Tiger goes, I've won, and I'm allowed to play here until I'm 60. He hasn't. He's earned the right to play, and
You don't think it's embarrassing though?
No, he's still a professional golfer and beat at least 4 other people. So
Yeah, but he's missing.
He wasn't last place.
But he's missing 3-foot putts. It's
So did Rory.
To me,
Okay.
it's embarrassing.
Rory.
It's like
Rory.
I know, so did Rory, but it's just like for Tiger, I understand all the other parts of the game, where driver and stuff like that, where you got to really twist your back and things like that. But when it comes to the putting green, your body is no longer really an issue. This is more of just the strategy of how to putt. Like, how do you miss 3-foot putts if you're Tiger Woods? That's the part that I feel like he's just so far gone. He's not even making putts now.
The greatest golfers that are currently the greatest golfers miss 3-foot putts. So don't hate on my boys right now.
Let's leave him. Let's see his wounded house.
He missed the cut, and you're just going to knock him down even further.
We knew he was going to miss the cut. He sent the check over to me. He just wrote me a check. I actually think Tiger prefers checks, so I'll wait for that in the mail. It's fine.
It'll be fine.
All right, so Olympic preview here. Okay, so we'll start with basketball. Obviously, you have United States. There was that whole... The United States is by far the number 1 team going into that event. But my question is, who do you guys think is the biggest contender? And I'll start with you, Bijan.
And on the hard court?
On the hard court.
I will say I've done no research. I think the safe bet, as you said, is the United States. In fact, since the Dream Team in 1992, there's only been 1 Olympics. The U.S. did not win the gold medal. What year was that? Burn. Or have?
2000.
2004 in Athens. Argentina, followed by Italy. Let me tell you, give 2 reasons why we didn't win it. Sean Marion and Okafor were featured on that team, not our best squad. Finished with the bronze medal. So safe money's on the U.S., although they did struggle with Australia, but they got away with it. So I'll say France and Australia. Why not? That's what I'm going to say.
Okay.
I haven't watched France and Australia.
Vern? Anybody can take the Americans down on the hard court?
Yeah, I think there's a couple. I think it's, in my opinion, I think Canada, but I also like Germany, the Wagner brothers. But what's crazy is obviously we always compare to the 1992 Dream Team. Wait, what an amazing team we put together.
Yeah.
And we dominated. But think about how much basketball has evolved internationally and what kind of studs we are now putting out in the NBA. So in 1992, that team played against 9 NBA players internationally, like that were currently in the NBA. This team is playing against 61 NBA players that are not from USA. Just put that in perspective. So there is
great point.
There's just more parity now. So it's not going to be these ass whoopings where USA just, yes, there's going to be some games where they put it together, but the other thing is I feel like on the USA side, like they haven't really played together, all of our studs, right? So they're still trying to learn each other's game and learn how to play together. But I would say, that was my long story short, that long way of saying that I do think that there's some teams that can beat the USA on any given night. And I would lean towards Canada because they got SGA. He obviously was an MVP candidate. But I like Germany. You could throw in Serbia and France too, because Serbia's got. But yeah, man, those are my team. Oh, and on Germany too, they got Dennis Schroeder. You got the Wagner brothers. There's some studs on that end, and they're not scared of. I don't think anybody's scared of the USA anymore, and that's a testimony to how good the NBA is internationally.
Here's the thing: we have the Americans are just loaded, man. Backcourt, you got Devin Booker, Steph Curry, Anthony Edwards. You got Halliburton, and then you got Tatum, LeBron James, Embiid, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, and Adebayo. Right
Ooh.
now, there was a whole controversy with Kawhi Leonard not making the team because of an injury, and they substituted Derek White. So that's a whole other story. You got Steve Kerr, Mark Few, Tyronn Lue, and Spoelstra as the coaching staff.
Good
I don't
stuff.
know about you guys, but that's pretty loaded. That's a
Yeah,
loaded big
Spoelstra. I love
lineup.
Spoelstra. I can't stand the Heat.
Yeah.
I gotta give Spoelstra his credit. With T. Lue's players coach for sure. That's a good mix.
Yeah, and then you
Look
got
at-
Mark Few from the Zags on there.
Yeah, I like
cool.
when they bring a college coach up there to assist, which I
Normally
agree, man.
okay,
It's
but-
a loaded team, but think about Canada, right? You've got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, you got Jamal Murray, Kelly Olynyk, Dylan Brooks, R.J. Barrett, Nikhil Alexander-Walker. There are studs on. There's still studs in their own right.
They have a good
Yes.
starting lineup, and
So I
there's
think
players that
that's
we
what
haven't
you need.
heard of that might be good.
So,
So
yeah,
that's a
that
whole
can-
other thing. Yeah. Now I will say there's another team in there, France, because they got Wembanyama and Gobert, and then a bunch of people that I don't know how to pronounce their name.
And
But,
Fournette and Batum.
eh,
Yeah, it'd be fun to watch though. We should, but we obviously are the heavy favorite, as we should be.
yeah. I'm happy that we've gotten to the point where we're sending our studs over there still, where
Yeah.
there's still some pride with the dream teams going over there. I don't know what happened that year in 04 where, because I do remember that, Bijan. I remember we went over there with none of our NBA guys, like
Yeah.
our main
Oh,
guys
cool.
wanted to go, and I didn't understand it. At
They're
least
best.
we're representing.
Yeah.
Go over there, represent. Who cares about if you're worried about injuries or whatever? I don't know what these guys were worried about back then. But you're getting paid $50 million a year. You're fine financially. You can afford to go
We'll
overseas.
take a summer vacation.
I would like
Petty.
to see what kind of take a look at each team's NBA salaries, like what they're making.
Oh,
and
yeah.
see where it ends up. Our team, their contracts had to be over $1 billion.
Got him. To be fair, that's a good point.
Yeah.
No cap at the Olympic.
Yeah, it's insane. If you look at Tatum and LeBron just signed for what combined probably 500 million.
My bigger question is, where in the world does White get in there over like Brunson, or just name somebody like, why is Derek White our
Brought home the
12th guy
title
off the bench?
to Bean.
I think they were trying to fill like pretty much match the defensive prowess of what Kawhi brought, and Derek White
Oh,
brings that to the
okay.
table. Yeah, I think that you coming off the bench to bring somebody that can play high level defense.
We
I
got enough
would've liked
scorers.
for them
We didn't
to-
need Brunson chucking up three. And
I still, but honestly, Jaylen Brown probably should have been the call.
There's plenty other all-stars that you could have picked from. I almost would have liked for them. I don't know if he's a little too young, but I would have liked for somebody like Banchero to get up there and get some experience outside of what
Yeah.
what he's used to. Just give him the dream team experience now. But more than likely, what they're probably going to do is you'll see those guys are representing when their time comes in the
That's right.
next 4 or 8 years or something.
It's the same conversation the WNBA is talking about, is that the girls that have been chosen have earned the right to be on there, not obviously Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese.
Who's talking about that? I
That was if you were up to date on things, but yeah, everybody.
when I go to the water cooler at work, I'm not
No.
thinking about
Well,
it.
nobody's there because there's no water cooler. No water cooler.
It's a hot topic when both of them got snubbed just because they're rookies, that they're not being considered, because even though it would bring must-see TV and probably bring quite a few million of listeners to watch the WNBA and the Olympics, but are they a top 12 player today? Probably not, but I feel like,
Yeah.
so it's the other girls are like, we've earned it because we put in our time.
Yeah. I mean, it's I get the seniority thing, but so in volleyball, I do agree. I think we all agree that the United States should bring it down. It's more of who are they going to be playing. I think it's going to be Canada or France as well. But in volleyball, just a couple names to look out for with beach volleyball. You have Chang and Hughes, and Kloth and Nuss are the big combinations
Kloth
for
and Nuss.
the
Is that a
Americans.
shave
Yeah.
kit brand for men? Kloth and Nuss.
Yeah, Kloth and Nuss. I like their it flows a little bit, Kloth and Nuss.
No, but totally. I shave with Kloth and Nuss. Takes care of my entire body care for men. Kloth. Yeah.
So
It's the
if
best-
you're
One
gonna
of the
be
best body watches.
If you turn it on and the volleyball's on, you're like, oh, Kloth and Nuss is playing. We talked about that on the podcast. Now they're a contender. They're a force. Now in golf, okay, there's no team format. It's just a field of 60 and 72 holes. If I read
See
that,
what happens.
yeah. So now, just so you guys know, the Americans are sending Scotty Scheffler, Xander, Wyndham Clark, and Morikawa over there to represent the nation. Pretty solid group, although Wyndham Clark has been struggling
Bit
lately.
of a struggle. Not in good form lately.
No, so we'll see if he can get it together for the Olympics. But Scotty and Xander, it's just I
Be
don't
a
know.
fantasy golf team every draft. Yes, please.
Now, I don't know if you guys have had a chance to see who else qualified from other countries, or would you like me to read through them?
I'm sure Matsuyama is there. Justin
Yes.
Rose. There.
Rose, he might be there. I didn't have him in my notes.
Let's do Rory McIlroy.
Rory, and okay, so
McIlroy.
from Ireland, you have Rory Lowry.
Ooh,
You have Oberg representing Sweden. You have Hovland representing Norway. You have Rom, Spain, Matsuyama, Japan, Fleetwood, Fitzpatrick, Great Britain, Jason Day, M.W. Lee, Australia, Bezuidenhout and Van Rooyen, South Africa.
wonderfully
Now,
pronounced, Tom.
any of those players you think can contend for
I
the
think John Rahm is coming on. He showed for the first time in quite some time, some really good form in both tough conditions and easier conditions at the Open Championship. If you can putt, watch out for the Spaniard John Rahm. He gets up for events like this. I like Rahm to be a contender in the Olympics.
I like Aberg. I think he can put on a show, put some rounds together. I still like Rory, but yeah, I think I'm with Bajan as far as who on the international side that could potentially knock our Americans off the pedestal would be John Rahm.
Yeah,
That group.
I would be amazing if we. So I'm assuming you can take all 3 medals, right?
I believe it's all individual.
That is correct. It's best score, I believe. Don't sleep on Shane Lowry. This guy he's tenacious competitor. Really 1 round away from taking home the Open Championship, and he loves this format, international play. So Rahm and Lowry for me.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect from a golf course in Paris.
Petty, very delicate, tight fairway, wispy grass.
Like
Vino
I
in
mean,
between, some wine in between. There's no water in the coolers. It's wine.
yeah,
Gotta
it's
be careful with
72
your intake.
holes. And then my thing is that these people are going out there representing their country at this point. So there's other countries that are in the mix. I just didn't know who the people were, but there easily could be somebody from Germany that's atop the leaderboard that I've never heard of. It would be amazing if we had the clean sweep, but I don't remember when Xander won it at the last Olympics. I think he was the only American that was in contention at that point.
It sounds right.
It was only if Shoffley didn't medal, then the Americans were just completely out of the event.
What Corey Connors?
Yeah, Corey Connors is there. There's a field of 60. I think that that's going to be an exciting event to watch.
I
Actually,
can't wait to watch.
Gymnastics. Obviously, we have Biles is the big name there for the Americans. Do you guys know who the big threat is for her?
Somebody from China or Russia?
Oh, intrigued. Do tell.
I'm gonna go with herself because that's the only way she ain't winning.
Oh, I like that burn.
There is a girl by the name of Rebecca Andrade from Brazil who is the one to watch out for against Biles, actually, in the gymnastics world. There's so many different events that they compete in, so I'm sure Biles is going to take some medals. It's just, I don't know which one it is like her favorite, but I know Andrade is somebody to watch out for her. She has a threat there.
Well, I think Biles only needs one gold, I believe, or maybe just 1 medal to
The record?
make as at least for the American gymnastics. but she would take over as the most medaled female Olympian as far as the gymnastics,
Okay.
which would be pretty cool. feat
Oh,
for
it's
her.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah,
She's a
phenomenal.
beast. Yeah.
And the Chicago
Uh,
Bears allowed her husband, Jonathan Owen, to take some time off training camp, go poor wife.
Classy move
Oh,
by the
that's
Bears.
nice.
Classy move by my NFC foe.
Now moving
Bears.
over to the water, swimming. Do you guys know who is going to be representing the Americans in the world of swimming? It's not Michael Phelps anymore, guys.
Not Phil.
Caleb, what's his name? Dressel, Dressel, right?
Oh, okay.
Not Jim Tressel. Probably not. Not going to get in the water.
In the men's, what I was looking up was this guy named Jack Alexey is the guy to watch out for the Americans, actually. And then our Burn Nasty likes Dressel. So we'll see if either of those guys.
I'm not great with this, but he got my stats right. Like I feel like he is
Caleb Dressel, isn't that right? I'm looking at them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Caleb Dressel. Is like our one of our top USA guys.
I believe he's a former Gator. I believe
he is. He is a former US.
That's not surprising.
Come
on.
Boo.
Nobody really likes him, but I don't like him in college, but I will like him now.
Maybe that's why I left him off the sheet and I was going with Alexi instead.
Probably subconsciously.
He won 5 gold medals in Tokyo.
Normally good.
He's got seven gold currently, but this will be the swimmer's third Olympics. His first as a dad. First as a dad.
Oh.
No, like, this is the great thing. He's 28 years old.
That's so good. Yeah.
It's crazy. I'm like maybe 29, but he's young.
Pageantry of the Olympics.
There's
tremendous. Can't wait.
In the female side, you got Ledecky and Douglas are the 2 females to watch out for the Americans. On track and field, there's a guy named Noah Lyles. He's 26 years old. He's supposed to be the one that we're supposed to look out for then. Yeah.
He's like the first guy since Usain Bolt to win, I think, the 100 and 200 meters.
Yes. And he also is in the relay. Yeah.
He is fast as hell.
That might be a name. He might end up becoming very famous after this Olympics because people fall in love with these speedsters in the Olympics. Sha'Carri Richardson on the female side is the female to watch out for. Track and field is normally the last event, right? Like it's towards the end of the Olympics.
I think the marathon I think they stagger out the events, but I could be wrong. And I feel like the 100-meter is later on as well, but I might be wrong.
They're 6 hours ahead of the Eastern time zone. So
a lot of great midday viewing, a lot of great 2 to 5 p.m. Settle down, have an early meeting. Schedule your meetings early.
Yes.
Prepare for petty.
NBC is going to offer a 3-hour primetime show that's going to compile the best moments from each competition that you might have missed as well. So they do have a primetime option, like a condensed version where if people that actually do work 9 to 5, where they don't have time to look at their phone, then you can just come home and watch the condensed version every day and stay in the know. There you have it. There is your full Olympic preview by the AR crew.
Did you know they have like breakdancing now?
Really?
Like there's
Burner, did you just miss?
I just looking at it, and they're like, there's this guy that stands out or something, and he's like our top. He's like number 2 in the world in breakdance.
Wow, in breakdance.
And I'm like, what exactly? I'm like, how is that in the sport?
Phenomenal.
Victor Montalvo is the top ranked in the U.S. and number 2 in the world. B-boy Victor Montalvo is ready to turn the Olympics on its head as breaking makes its long-awaited debut at the Paralympics.
Wow.
That's unbelievable, and I can't wait to watch it, actually.
I want to see it. Do things that I know I can't do.
Who are the judges for that? How do you, it's got to be slightly different than a figure skating judge, don't you think? You're not going to have some really angry Russian lady staring at breakdancing. It's got to be a little bit different crowd, which would be great if they actually kept the same judges for figure skating. Would be phenomenal.
Who I think would be a great judge for the breakdancing competition, now that he's available, Joe Biden would be a good
God. Get him.
Yeah. I think he just needs to relax, read a book,
I think he's
figure some things out.
I think he's speaking right now, isn't he? I think there was
Yeah, I think he's currently doing it from the Oval Office to explain.
Lord,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Look, no politics here, but I hope he's well and wish him the best. But I feel bad for the guy. It's all said and done. He pretty much got pushed out. But
It's yes, I agree with you. I know that this is not a politics show, but like the way that this whole thing is going down in 2024 with this election is pretty crazy.
that's crazy. We have an assassination attempt. This guy, our candidate, backs out 106 days before the election.
Yeah. And then just they're like, oh, we're gonna like the Democratic Party is okay, we're gonna make sure it's a fair judgment on who's gonna take its place. And then within 24 hours, they're like, oh, Harris is getting all these votes somehow. It's from where?
They haven't even had the convention where they nominated.
I know the whole thing is
Bizarre.
bananas, bro.
The whole system is bizarre right now. But John,
Pray for the country. Pray for the president. Let's talk MLB.
Let's do it, baby. So we have live scoring
keep us in
update.
check.
The Mets are beating my Yankees again.
Not surprising, as predicted.
Now, this is where I will agree with you on this, Bajan. It is clear as day that the Yankees don't have every piece they need in order to win the World Series.
Yeah, so it makes sense that they're going to be sellers this go around.
They're in contention for the playoffs, and they're still in contention for the division. It's just my thing is that I can see when I'm watching these games, there's too many holes. You got too many holes in the lineup, and you got too many holes in the pitching staff.
They walked Judge 4 times last night. Once with the tying run on second with 1 out. 4 times.
Yeah.
At least one of them was intentional, I believe. 2 of the other 3 were unintentional, intentional. I had Judge to get a hit. I was very frustrated, just as frustrated as the big fella. But to your point, who's behind him?
Yeah. I don't know. It's actually pretty frustrating because the thing is, Soto and Judge together is just an insane combination. But then Volpe's kind of fallen off. He was hitting 300 early in the season, and now he's only batting 235. And we have I see too much Trent Grisham. Why is Grisham consistently
with that mustache? Oh, Trent.
He's batting 190. Like, how is he getting everyday play?
DJ LeMahieu, the poor guy, is just broken down. It's too bad you win. I really liked him. I loved to watch his career, and then he went to New York, and it just went. Ooh.
So I think that really, I could see where your point of view is right this second. So if Cashman sits on his hands at the deadline, it could get ugly. But I would, what GM could look at this team and say, oh, we can't do anything at the deadline? Like
Brian Cashman.
Yeah. I've got 2 words. Brian Cashman.
The deadline is hot right now. So it's coming in hot. The Yankees are struggling like crazy. He can't get swept by the Mets 4 games in a Subway Series and say to his fans, we're fine. We're fine. We got Cortez pitching tomorrow. You guys will be fine. That's not going to work. And tonight was Garrett Cole, wasn't it?
Yep. Serving up for BP.
So let's move over to the National League. Let's start out with a little bit of a couple predictions. Okay. I want you guys to tell me who's going to win the divisions. I want you guys to tell me who's going to win the wild cards. And I'll start with you, Burn.
I think there's really only one division that I could be a nail biter down the stretch, but the Phillies are going to run away with the NL East. I just don't. There's just so much ground for the Braves and the Mets to make up. Mets are hot. I just don't think that you're going to be able to catch. I think they're 9 games or 11 games back. The Braves are the amount of injuries they have right now. They're falling out. They had a team meeting the other day. All it did was get a loss against the Reds today. So they're going to have to make some moves. Just Mr. Cashman up there. Anthopoulos is going to have to do some things to possibly, because their 2 starting aces pretty much are on the injured list right now. So they're in disarray. I like the Brewers in the Central. I just feel like they're that whole division is questionable to me. Give me the Brewers, and just to make Bajan happy, I've got to say the Dodgers are going to take the West. I think that's pretty obvious. We expect them to be some busy buyers at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Even add to their stacked teams. Thank you, Shohei, for taking $1 million a year instead of 70 and passing that along so they have some more money to spend.
Right.
Very nice of them. And I hope they give all their prospects to the Detroit Tigers when they make the trade. But on the wild card side, I still like the Braves finding a way to stay in there. I think they're going to make moves to shore up, at least give them something to stay afloat and just limp into the playoffs. But I like the Mets coming out. I think the way they're playing, I think they're going to become buyers as well. Add a piece for their piece too. I like them, and then I'm going to go ahead and call it. There's just unworldly pitcher that plays for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and let's not even go out there. His girlfriend alone will probably get the Pittsburgh Pirates into the playoffs. So I think that the Olivia Dunn Pirates will be the last team in the wild card for the
Interesting. But John, I'm going to word this a little bit different for you because I think that Byrne hit it right on the head. For the divisions are all but buttoned up in reality, unless there's just a big fall from grace, big injury or something. My question to you is, do you think that the Dodgers are going to take the #1 seed in the NL over Philly when it's all said and done? And then let us know who your wild card teams are.
Byrne, great recap. We are aligned almost to the T. I was going to go with Pittsburgh or Cincinnati, but I'm with you because of Skeen, because of Dunn, because of Bednar and Chapman in the back of that bullpen. They're due to make the playoff. I love Brian Reynolds, O'Neill Cruz. I'd love to see it. I think it's a great story. I'm with you on that. I think Lewis falls out. I'm with you with Mets, Braves, Padres, then the Buccos getting in. Your
Wait,
question
no, there's only 3 teams that get in, right? Wild card.
There were 4 teams.
No, 3.
3.
You're right. So I'm going to put I'll say the Padres fall out. You know what? I'm going to root against the Padres. Why not? Okay, it's a collection of players. I'm going to go with Byrne. I'm with Byrne.
Pittsburgh, Mets, Braves. So you
playoffs
got
with Byrne. Weekend with Bernie. Playoffs with Bernie.
3 NL East teams,
wrong.
just like you have 3 AL Central teams.
And I think your question, will the Dodgers catch Philly? I don't think they will. I think the Dodgers are still going to win 100 games, but they're going to win 100 games on the dot. I think that Philly will win 102 games. Even if they tied, Philly, I believe, has the tiebreaker. So not a shame. Doesn't mean that I don't think the Dodgers will make the noise in the playoffs and not a quality team, but Philly has the pitching on both ends. They've got tremendous lineup, and they've got the tiebreaker against the Dodgers. So much as I'd like to be a homer, Philly's going to be the #1 seed. Dodgers will be the 2 seed. Brewers are going to hang on, but they got some bad news today about Yelich. His back.
I saw that.
He's acting up again. It was a shame. He's having a great bounce back year. He's terrific for the game. He was running well, hitting well, fielding. It was just glimpses of those MVP type seasons that he had. So hope for the Brew Crew and for Bernie the Brewer, the Bernie reference, that they can hang on to that division. So I don't think the Dodgers catch the Phillies. I am excited. They will add either a Rosarina or Robert will be a Los Angeles Dodger by next week.
Yeah, I think Bravos are in the same position as the Yankees, what you were talking about, Byrne, where it comes to, let's see what happens at the deadline, but they're both teams that I feel like are in the playoffs. I can't see a scenario where the Braves and the Yankees aren't in. So I got the Braves in. The Mets started out so cold and then they got hot. I'm wondering if there's going to be a fall from grace here for them here, or
I think they've already struggled. I think they've already struggled. Look what
it's just done. Yeah, you might be right about that. My question to you, Bajan, is how is St. Louis 4 games over 500 with the 3rd wild card right now? They have Arenado.
Play good defense. They're getting some timely hitting. They play a lot of low-scoring 1-run games, and they've happened to be on the right side of those. I don't think that's going to continue. The lineup is not that deep, to your point. They've got a couple pieces starters, but I don't think their bullpen is that great. I think they're going to fall out of the race. So give them credit for what they're doing. This is supposed to be a rebuilding year for the Cardinals, and they have really overachieved. A lot of close wins. I think their schedule gets a little tougher. So not smoke and mirrors, some really great effort, but I don't think they can sustain it.
I think, okay, here's my 3 wildcard teams. I have Atlanta, I have San Diego, and I have the D-backs sliding in to take that first slot. Now,
Snake.
they're actually they're starting to heat up a little bit too, and you cannot forget what they did last season. Okay, so
I can
I
forget it.
think
So,
you have
yeah.
you have to give them the benefit of the doubt. I think that they're gonna sneak their way back into the playoffs. Pittsburgh doesn't have enough experience to do. I love what's happening with Skeens. It's not gonna be enough. It's a good story. He got to start the All-Star game. No way you're gonna find me putting any kind of money on the Pirates making the playoffs. There's no way. There's a 0% chance way I'll ever. I've never even bet on the Pirates to win a game.
At the end of the day, you have 10 teams within 7.5 games of each other.
Yeah, but
It'll be fun down the stretch on the NL side, at least on the wild. The divisions, not so much. The wild card,
yeah.
that'll be fun.
But I would say that if you're under 500 right now, I'm not even considering you. So like Cincinnati, the
No, I get it.
Cubs, the Giants,
mean-
I feel like they're just done.
The Nationals are 5.5 games out of the last wild card spot.
Yeah.
And, but they're 7.5 from the top spot. So anything could happen. 7.5 is not exactly out of the realm of possibility. Just crazy that it still is a pretty tight race. And there's only 2 teams that are really eliminated, and that's the Rockies and the Marlins.
Yeah, so that's actually
theory.
I think that this is a problem if you think about it, because we're gonna get to the trade deadline now, but
And
Don't
who's
you
sellers,
think
who's
that-
buyer?
yeah,
Right.
don't you think that because you're 7 games under 500, you're not in contention, but you actually a little bit are in
Yeah.
contention.
Everybody in
and it's
contention other than with the 96 or 97 expansion teams, the Marlins and Rockies, everybody in contention. Everybody's in there.
on the NL, yeah, and then obviously in the AL, there's teams that are out. But
Yeah. But looking at, and that's the thing, is in the National League, it's tough. Like, you have to really have a heart-to-heart with yourself to determine, hey, look, we need to sell. Like, we have the pieces list, especially anybody that's looking for rentals. And there's some teams that probably should. It's going to be tough because most teams everybody's looking at the White Sox or the Yankees.
the
to
White
find
Sox,
pieces.
yeah. So some big names here. All right, I'll start with one here, and Bajan had mentioned him earlier. Rosarena. So do you guys it seems like he's going to be on the move. He's probably the biggest name that's out there offensively. Tampa Bay
Yes.
seems willing to
Say it's
trade
him
him.
or Lewis Robert, probably the only, when you think of hitters.
Yeah, offensively, those seem to be the 2 big guys. Now, Rosarena, are you hearing that he's going to go to the Dodgers, Bajan?
Yeah, I think the Dodgers and the Rays have a storied history, a pipeline essentially of trade. The Dodgers and Rays are gonna make at least 1 trade a year. I think they have the last 4 or 5 years straight. So front offices know each other very well. They evaluate players very similarly. There's gonna be a trade. So Rosarena definitely a front runner. He hasn't had the best year, but I think this is one of the guys that has playoff experience, he's big game experience. You get in that locker room with the rest of that team. Dodgers probably have to give up Pages or Vargas, probably Pages, what I would imagine, and another pitching piece. Although they should hold on to Brent Honeywell. Don't give him back to the Rays. It was a great trade for the Dodgers. But I think that's what I see. I think a Rosarena over Robert is what I think will happen. White Sox, I think, are going to want too much and want to package Crochet and Robert together. And all the Dodgers farm system is deep. I think it's easier for them to deal with the Rays, given the history they have.
So now the Rays are not trading Rosarena to the Yankees. There's no way they would do that. Yeah.
Will never happen.
It's not,
Not
we're
a
not
chance.
going to get him. I would love him. It would be amazing. We need him.
It's good to have dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't stop
it is.
dreaming, Hal.
Yeah.
Don't stop believing. Were you guys playing that song on the boat in Tampa, Bird?
We and we were on our own, just cruising. We stayed in the beach, Jimmy Buffett, some OAR, Sublime, that kind of vibe.
Wow.
But when we got to the sandbars, man, there was some the younger crowd that was jamming out to some serious hip hop and just blaring and dancing on the boat. Pretty intense, and I may have fallen in love a couple of times.
Okay, what age group are you talking? 20s?
I was 20 for sure. The name of their boat was Natural Bite. It had the Natural Light logo on it.
Oh, nice.
I actually was like, I actually loved it. I was like, man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, 20s, there's probably 12 or 14 of them. They brought 2 boats, linked up, and they took care of the music and the entertainment.
Did you feel old?
I felt older, that's for sure. We got 8 guys just in a circle. We're like, oh, we're so much fun.
We need to
Invite us over. And instead, we get the boat next to us in their 50s, 60s, and they're like, so what are you guys up to? I'm like, oh, gosh. We want to go up there. We want to go.
I just ate a roach.
Just ate a roach. How's your cholesterol?
You can open with that.
Yeah. No, I definitely felt old. We definitely did, you know. So when half of our guys are wearing sun shirts in the water, it's come on.
Well, I go sun shirt exclusively now. With a hood.
I know.
With a hood on it.
And our buddy had a like, what the hell?
Protect the dome.
So we're going to see Third Eye Blind on Friday in Jacksonville. Their lead singer is Stephen Jenkins. He's 60 years old, we found out.
Wow.
And
when did they come out?
That's 95 and
90s.
like lead
Right?
musician year. Yeah.
90s. Yeah, he's 60. So I was like, as soon as Josh told me that stat, I was like, I feel old now.
Good.
Well,
I'm going to rock
like,
out at this show, and then the lead singer is 60. That's a little embarrassing.
I would have a feeling that most people in their 20s have no idea who Third Eye Blind is.
Probably not.
I'd be like, oh, my dad listens to that.
Yes. And the bigger thing is what's going to be the age group at the age range at the show? Is it going to be
You'll feel right at home.
50s, or is it going to be
pushing 50s?
40s, 50s.
35 to 45.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
35 to
40. 30. All right, so I'll be on the younger side of it at least. Maybe I'll feel young.
You're young at heart, Hop.
Yeah. I actually I don't really care in reality. I just love their music. We're gonna have
the handicap spots will be the first parking spots filled up.
That's so funny. Okay, back to baseball here, because another hot name on the wire here, and I don't know if he's actually gonna get traded. And I don't know if you've heard anything on like your Detroit Tiger news email blasts that you get, Burn. But Scooble is just, everybody wants him. And everybody wants him, including the Orioles, by the way. And the Orioles have tons of prospects. So my question to you is, would you be willing to give him up to the Orioles for some prospects?
Yeah, what I've heard and what's been from my inside sources is that discussions have been had, some just initial exploratory discussions between the Dodgers and the Orioles as teams that are at least of interest for our boy Scooble. Most likely the AL Cy Young winner if he keeps this up. But yes, I feel like, yes, I would give him up because we are probably 2 or 3 years away from truly competing. And he is going to demand 30+ million a year very soon. This is the time where we could actually get a haul, and it needs, but I'd only do it. Let me preface that. I would only give him up if we get a King's rank. This is a Soto type trade, like something like that. You'd have to get top prospects, at least 3 in the top 10, probably. Orioles, Jackson Holiday would be somebody that we need, those type of players. Our farm system on the pitchers it's pretty good. So I think I'd be okay, but we just need talent, and he's the one guy that can deliver it because he has team control for the next couple years. Part of me says I hope we don't, just because we finally have somebody that's like a true stud. But I think we are 2 or 3 years away from truly being a contender and like to make noise in the playoffs. So I think I would definitely listen, and it definitely better be a king's ransom. It needs to be 3 or more prospects that are like a year away from producing at a major league level.
Bajan, do you think that Scooble's proven that he's worth that? If you were the Orioles, would you give up your 3 of your top 10 prospects to go get Scooble?
I don't like. I'd like to see, to Burns' point, Scooble not leave. The Tigers are putting something together. It's perfect for that franchise in that ballpark. I think the Orioles go to what's familiar. They get Jack Flaherty at a much lower price. Got ties to Balmer. I think they're going to trade and acquire Jack Flaherty. I think that's the move. Spend less prospects. That's a better trade for both. Detroit can still get a nice prospect or two out of that, and they hold on to Scooble. Flaherty's really had a good couple of months, and you can cash it in while he's pitching. I think that's smart.
Yeah, I just feel like, oh yeah, 100%. Like Flaherty's gone. That's a foregone conclusion. It's just, he's a rental. He's only signed through this year. It was a 1-year deal, and boy, has he performed. So he's done everything. Scott Harris signed him for this specific reason, so that we could trade him, and he's got his value up there. But rental players don't fetch you the type of prospects like they used to. So yes, we'll probably get a top 15 prospect. It's great. We're only going to get one. But if you're going to just inject your team with true talent, Google's the only one that's going to get that. I feel like I would love to see him stay in Detroit, but if the Tigers decided that's the only way that we're going to be able to really turn this thing around and get enough talent to start competing soon, then that's the guy that you have to trade, because that's the only guy that's going to even come close to getting the talent that we need. It's unfortunate, but it's part of it. That's all we got.
Yeah.
Not trading Riley Green. You signed him to a long contract.
No, Riley Green cannot leave.
Yeah, Riley stays because we've got him signed at a pretty damn good deal right now. We signed him early. If we try to sign Scooble right now, it's hefty, but I hope he stays.
You guys, you're not really paying anybody, so you could do it. But
Yeah,
you're paying Javi Baez, I think, actually.
Yeah, Javi Baez it's Baez, and we still owe him.
Oh,
I want to see 72 million for the next.
That was a battle.
Yeah, he's below the Mendoza line. I didn't want him in the first place, but
no one did.
He has gone so far south. It's crazy. Still a great defense.
Yeah.
He's a liability behind the plate.
Yeah, that sucks, man. And then, so a couple other names here. You got Kikuchi. Zach Eflin is another one that the Rays are looking to offload. Crochet, Robert, and Kopech is a trio from the White Sox that are going to get moved. It's just who's going to go after them. And to your point, Bajan, they're looking to move all 3 in one package.
I think that's what they're going to try to get to maximize. I think they're going to put Crochet and Robert together. If I'm the White Sox, pretty far gone. I think they've got to make a deal. But if I'm the Dodgers front office, I'm not going to pay that much up front. Crochet has shown flashes for 4 months. Robert, never really healthy, not consistent. I'd rather pay, if I'm the front office, the Dodgers far less, maybe one top prospect with the Rays and get a Rosarina and know what I'm getting. I do think Crochet has the big, it's clear. Back to what Barron said, this is obvious. Crochet has the largest upside of any available player right now, but what their asking price they'll think will be insane. And once you go to Chicago, it's a funeral. It's sad. People will cry just when they have to go there. Weeping. It's a god-awful stadium. It's a god-awful franchise.
Oh, I hope Big A doesn't listen to
Big A, I love you. Big A, I still love you. You would agree with the statement.
Pretty much like Clippers. They're not even a good team in their own city because they're a team.
Cubs are great.
And the Cubs aren't even good.
I like those 3 players, though. I will say that. If you told me that the Yankees got all 3 of these guys, I would be very happy because we need all 3 of them.
Yeah, don't worry, Hav. Glaber just struck out with guys on first and third. Don't worry. Fine.
Yeah. See, that's the problem, is that we need help in all different angles here. We need starting pitching, we need bullpen, and we need an offensive weapon. And Robert, I know he's had some ups and downs, but I would love to, but I don't know what they're going to ask for. They're going to want Dominguez.
Give him Jason Dominguez. What's going to happen?
I heard that they were actually willing to potentially give up Spencer Jones, which would be great.
Oh yeah, Jones and Dominguez are two prospects that. But I don't know. I guess if you think about it, I don't know if I want to use my top two prospects on Crochet and Kopech. So
Not Kopech. Going hell. Even with the man bun. I like the new look. The man bun is cute. I think he can be great in the bullpen, but you're just getting a bullpener. The guy is clearly not a starter. That's been proved. I do
yeah,
think he could be solid back into the bullpen. His stuff
he
plays
is.
when its head is right. But these are
Yeah.
mercurial players. You're getting one guy with upside. The other two, I want nothing to do with Robert or Kopech. Nothing.
Now, here's the one person that I really hope that the Yankees go after is Turner from Toronto, because Toronto is going to be a seller.
Yeah.
So,
Great pro. The great pro.
We need a third baseman. Just go get Turner, please. But will Toronto trade within the division?
Yeah, Toronto doesn't care. Fine.
Okay.
Let's get Canada. Fine. Whatever's best for baseball, whatever's best for everyone.
Do you like Kikuchi?
No. No one like the Blue Jays don't like Kikuchi.
Yeah, if they don't like him, then you shouldn't.
He's better than Nestor Cortez. I'm looking
Nestor Cortez.
some sort of. We'll see. There's always like one trade that happens where you're like, there was no rumors about it, and somebody gets traded. So I'm curious to see who that's going to be. I do think that there's cold water that is being poured on the trade deadline because of the extended wild card seating. So
gonna get heated up late, a late burn and a late boil. I'll tell you what, we're not.
This weekend's gonna be crazy.
We're taking a lot of calls about burn. 14 interns and a full studio. We turned it down.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. Let's do that.
We are not taking calls for burn. We are not taking calls for burn.
Not on the market, boys and girls. Don't even try it.
He is on the dating market, though. Just let's get that straight.
It's available.
Keep that clear.
This is the interns' second. They have 2 weeks left with us, so I just want to thank you to the Caviar intern. Project presentations are coming up.
Yeah.
Took care of Burn last weekend. 2 of you had burn duty. He's back with us. You applied lotion to him. You didn't protect him from the cockroach. We're going to talk about that, but the rest of it was.
Yeah, I really think they should have done some on at least taste testing the beer to make sure that everything was fine. But
most of them are underage burn. Don't know.
Yeah, I think it was just something they just weren't prepared for. They had not seen that before, so that's probably on me. So I apologize.
That story is going to go down just in history books right there.
I don't wish it happened, but it was one. Oh, what's up? I'd rather find hair in my Taco Bell.
You can work through that. I can work through that.
Think about that. Yeah. Now I want some Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Just some injury news. Albies is out for 8 weeks for the Bravos, and Max Fried is on the 15-day IL with elbow neuritis. Doesn't sound good.
Smart with that one. Yeah.
Doesn't sound. What elbow neuritis sounds like he's out for the year.
Yeah, not a good.
I would say it's scary.
Yeah.
Especially
now, what's going on? Mike Trout
is out.
Mike Trout tried to come back, and then he had to leave his rehab game. I don't know if he's going to make it back this season. I thought they had him ready to come back here in the next week or two, which I don't even know why, because the Angels are so out of the playoffs that it's like, why just keep him out for the year? Who cares?
Yeah. He's not going to bring them back from a 16-game deficit, I think.
No.
I think they're fine.
Ticket sales is the only thing I can think of. Now, he'd be one that would be a great trade deadline guy. Somebody gets Mike Trout out of nowhere. But I guess it'll never happen. I don't know. He's just an angel for life for some reason.
An angel for eternity. Mike Trout.
Now, are the Dodgers playing yet? Are they on?
No, it's 10 o'clock. Only undefeated team since the All-Star break, 5-0, including a sweep of the Bo Sox.
Guess who they're going up against tonight?
Tight pants. Your boy Robbie Ray is back. Your boy
Robbie Ray.
Disaster. The
Ray.
Giants disaster continued.
I did not start him in my fantasy lineup.
You should never start Robbie Ray.
I will definitely start him. I'm not going to start him in the first game against the Dodgers.
Not wise.
He had the 8 games that he pitched or 10 games that he pitched in the minors. He looked good.
Oh, that's great. That'll play well.
I think he had 50 strikeouts and 7 walks.
And Rancho Cucamonga really dominant, but
hey, you got to go with what they're giving you.
That's true. Still have to do it.
Kershaw is coming back, right?
Tomorrow, matinee, set your schedule. 4
Yep.
o'clock, 4:10
Kershaw's-
Eastern. The Sultan of Strikeout return. Number
And
22.
and DeGrom has elevated to facing live hitters, which
Part of his job description. Congratulations, DeGrom.
I'm like, what's the difference between pitching, like if he does a bullpen session and pitching to live hitters? Why is
Are there
is that even?
corpses? Are there non-live, unlive batters? It is so out what's
Yeah,
going up.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I got nothing on that one.
Yeah.
He's just basically like it. He's gonna come back for September. Is what's gonna happen for DeGrom.
Good for him.
Good for the
Yeah,
Rangers.
man.
They're playing the White Sox. They opened up. They got a series with the White Sox, so that's been positive for the Rangers.
If the Rangers make the playoffs,
They will not.
that could be big, actually.
Not in that division.
Because
They're lucky to finish third in that division, to be honest.
They're only 3.5 out right as of today.
yeah, Bajan. I don't know why you're
They-
counting them.
And the Angels aren't catching them.
The Angels aren't catching it.
We just determined that, so they're pretty much stuck in third or better.
Oh, but they're actually 6 games out of the wild card. So the Rangers' only chance is the division. They have to take Houston down.
Not probable.
That's tough. Houston's the same situation as the Mets, by the way. So we're not going to keep on digging into this whole prediction machine. But the Mets and the Astros both started out very cold. They got hot here in the middle.
Yeah.
Are they going to
As they
end
continue.
cold? Yeah, that's the
I think
question.
they end. I think they end warm, and will be plenty. That'll be plenty for them.
I like that burn.
Seattle's only 1 game out, and
Warm
but
like the
thing
last
is-
swig of that beer. Warm.
Yeah, the IPAs only get better as the temperature
True.
rises.
Yes.
Not wrong.
Just so you guys know, I'll be in Tallahassee the next couple of days. I'm going to tour Florida State for my daughter. So
Oh my.
that's where I'll be.
That sounds fun. The time has come.
Yeah, the time has come.
What are the top choices for her?
We don't really know because we're
There's
waiting
only
on
one.
her. We're waiting on her ACT scores to come back to see what options we have. But we're just gonna tour like all the schools in Florida just so she gets an idea of what they actually look like, the campuses and stuff. UF, no. UF,
I was
and
gonna
not
say.
even,
Yeah.
not even because I hate UF. It's just she doesn't have a 4.9 GPA, so it's like
They wouldn't
like
let me in now, Hob. Don't worry. I couldn't. They barely let me on. I think I
doesn't
special
do-
pass just to
yeah.
get readmitted for many reasons.
She doesn't average 30 hours of community service a week.
Yeah.
It's like insane.
their admissions is gotten to. They're like trying to be. I feel like
Look,
they're
I
like,
don't-
just be Ivy League if you're
They're
gonna
a
be
top 5 public university. Top 5 public university.
I don't think I could get into Florida State.
No.
My credentials from 1999.
I could get in transferring. I can transfer.
Actual transfer.
I feel like I'd have to go to they were on a Stone Talent. I'd have to go to a community college first, 100%.
Just so you know, they changed it where they don't take 35,000 anymore. They only take 18,000. Florida State. So they dropped their admissions by 50% roughly, and then they increased the GPA to 4.1. So it's like we're crossing our fingers that she has a chance for Florida State. We'll see, but we're gonna take her on a tour anyway.
Fun.
Yeah, and then we're gonna look at some apartments and just show her like what it looks like over there and stuff. Bro, they have this apartment that's right by the stadium now, College Town area, where the pool for the apartment is on a rooftop, and you literally, it's got a screen. You can watch TV, games, whatever, while you're at the pool, and you can see the stadium from the pool at your apartment complex.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. You might need to get a second job.
I know, right?
I'm sure it's quite inexpensive at that place.
No, so what they have is they have 6-bedroom apartments, bro. 6 bedrooms.
Whoa, it's a barrack. Yeah.
Damn.
6 bedrooms.
Some words of wisdom.
So prepare yourself. The greatest event every 4 years, not the presidential election, the Olympics. Tune in, support your country. Best of luck to all the athletes around the world as they descend upon petty. Good night and God bless.